I used to come on here and talk to you guys about the UFC. I was very harsh on the UFC and where it was going. And there's been two reasons why I haven't done that lately. One reason why, I had left for a month and worked 72 hours a week. I simply couldn't. And reason number two, it felt truly beneath me to make UFC videos because of how the UFC has unfolded. I've been watching the UFC since the Jon Jones-Daniel Cormier rivalry, since GSP was on top, dominant. And to see from then to now, I have a lot of disinterest towards the UFC now, to the point where I barely even watch it anymore. And I'm not a casual. I'm not someone that likes to skip UFC events. I used to be someone that would look forward to it throughout the whole month, throughout months in advance when a big fight would be announced. But to see now, what we just heard 2 days ago, the new fights that Dana White announced, bro, like, what are we doing? Where has the UFC come? As much as I've talked about the UFC's direction of how bad it is turning out, I'm back here to talk about it again because I can't stay away from it, because it is so horrific, so boring, so many mistakes that the UFC, Dana White, are making. We just got Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della McChicken McFucking Della Medina, bro. Dana Maladena, maybe he's related to Dana White, I don't know. But Jack is overrated. He is not someone we care to watch. I personally don't care to watch him fight Islam Makhachev. If you go rewatch Jack versus a 40-year-old Gilbert Burns, washed up, Gilbert Burns was piecing him up the whole entire fight. It took Jack a last 30-second KO win to beat Gilbert Burns. He was down on the scorecards bad and had to knock out a washed-up Gilbert Burns in the last few seconds of the fight to even get to a title shot. And then we have Belal Muhammad thinking he's Mike Tyson, trying to strike when he is literally clinically, mentally not right in the head, when he can literally just grab Jack and destroy him on the ground. I mean, we know he's Muslim, Belal, but you made your whole UFC career on you transforming into a Dagestani and wrestling people. But then when you fight a pure striker, you want to act like you're Canelo and Mike Tyson and look like an idiot and have a completely horrific performance after you were so happy for your first title defense. Jack is not official. We have another fight of Islam Makhachev going up against a hyped up, fake, dominant champion. The literal UFC belts are being passed around like prostitutes on GTA. What happened to the dominant ages? Like, when has there been a dominant champion? We have Islam Makhachev, yeah, now he's going up. We didn't want to see Islam versus Jack. We wanted to see Islam versus Ilia Topuria, another dominant champion who's actually proven himself against another dominant champion in Volk and Max Holloway. Jack proved himself against Belal Muhammad. The only reason he ever became relevant is because he became champion. No one cared about Belal. And so to see the direction that Dana White is taking it, it's just another knock on him as a current UFC boss. I've loved Dana White, but I don't know what he's doing recently. He ruined Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones and took away Alex's prime and hype for someone named Ankalaev, who will never be a draw, who's a champion now. So Dana White, this is 50% your fault and 50% the fighters for having no marketability and forgetting that the UFC is built on post-fight press conferences, on mic moments. So I don't know who to blame more, Dana White or the fighters. I think it's 50-50 for them not trying and simply fighting and not marketing themselves. And so with Jack fighting Islam, we have Ilia versus Charles Oliveira. Can we please get rid of Charles? Can we please stop hearing about this man's name? He is never ever going to become champion again. I've said it in previous videos so many times. He is washed up. Stop feeding people who have big names who can't fight anymore to people who have big names now and can fight. This is not going to be a competitive fight. We don't want to see this. This is not making the UFC interesting. Just another fight that will go by and will not spark the interest, guys. I work at a bar. Jack versus Belal, we were playing it on the TVs, pay-per-view everywhere. It was dead. No one gave a fuck about that fight. And just like if Islam fights fucking Jack. No one knows Jack. People barely know Islam's name. These are not household name fighters. And just like the same with Ilya versus Charles Oliveira, it's not going to draw the interest that the UFC is used to. This shit is getting fucking sad.